Hello and welcome back to the Chatter Cave podcast, where we discuss media in the forms of basically topical-based discussions, and occasionally, well, I say occasionally, it's what I mainly do since Connor's rarely here, is reviews, because that's the easiest thing I can do with discussion-wise. I'm your host, Ranking Thomas Hughes, and yes, I've got him back. I've got the son of a bitch back. There you go. The son of a bitch is here. After...
Finally.
When was the last episode you were on?
Like a year ago, I don't know. It's been a while.
It has been a while, because I mean, we haven't done anything together for ages. I mean, you literally mentioned not long ago, D being like, oh, you haven't done anything with Tom for ages. The last time
when's your next recording? I was like, I don't know, I'm done for like a year, so.
The last time you were on for the podcast, if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, so the last time you were on was episode 112. According to your image is on there, which is my birthday one.
Oh yeah.
According to this, 26. Well,
so it is about a year.
About April was the last time you was on.
Oh, it's not been a year then.
No,
it feels like a year.
It's been a while since we played. I think it's been a while since we gamed. But no, I mean, the start of the year, you did like quite a few podcasts. I've got literally your face multiple times on here. I mean,
it's been a while since we gamed, brother.
It has been a while since we've played any like games. I mean, live streams. 4 months ago, the last live stream we did. Booty Island.
Booty Island.
And we did Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves.
I mean, it's been 3 months since I fucking streamed. That was with Hayden on Ranch Simulator, which is literally near around the time that you did your last episode on here.
I remember when I joined on you playing that game. I was like, why is it so dark? You like night time, there's no light.
Oh yes, I do remember. I mean,
literally the screen was just pitch black, just a bunch of logs rolling around. It's like, what is going on?
But yeah, obviously, I thought I try and get you back, and obviously since I'm in a different setup for about a week, I thought this is probably the easiest time to get you on, where I don't have to worry about waking Hayden.
And I'm here, I'm back.
Yes.
Why is my fucking...
I don't know, but on my OBS screen, for some reason, it's like half your face.
It's the thing that doesn't end is the glare in my glasses.
Yeah, for some reason, obviously on my OBS, obviously because how it's obviously cropped, there's like a massive gap of your background, and there's just like half of you're just like you're just like that, essentially.
Which I'd have to lean so you see me that side.
There, that's where you have to go. I mean, you only get your half time anyway, so it feels right that we got half of you. it feels right, you know what I mean?
Very nice.
But yes, obviously I have Mr. Zenny F _ aka Connor O'Shea,
aka Skinny Penis,
aka from behind. Someone might grab his hair and rail him because he thinks it's chick.
Hell yeah!
Totally haven't done that many times to him. But yeah, so I thought I'd get you back. I mean, I'm sitting down with Alex tomorrow, so I'm going to try and see if I can get one with him done as well. So at least then I'm actually covered for a couple of weeks on the podcast. I mean, this isn't going out for a couple of weeks, so we're recording it quite in advance. Obviously, I've got another episode covering obviously the week we're recording this, so But yes, he doesn't know the topic, but basically we're at the halfway point in the year, basically, aren't we? We're now halfway through the year.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take, yes. So we've had a lot of releases so far, a lot of big movies, TV shows, games. Some have been, out of this world. Some have been mediocre. Some have been letdowns or just dog shit is the word you might go for. And obviously, there's still plenty more to come throughout this year. And I thought one thing we could do here is rank August's big movie releases by what you reckon's actually going to be any good, what do you reckon's actually going to do any good at the box office, and which do you think basically is not even going to be anywhere near as good as basically I would say expected, but I think the two of them that I'm looking at on this list, it's only a short list. It's four films. Obviously, we can talk about them in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Obviously, but there's two on this list I'm looking at. Like, I don't obviously as just looking at it, I'm going. I don't think they're going to be big. So I don't think there's going to be a hint of that was a letdown. I was really looking forward to that. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those ones where there's a lot of already issues with people regarding it. As you're looking at it, like trailers look okay, but my expectations aren't high anyway, so I don't think it would be a letdown. So I say I got 4 on this list. By the time this goes out, I think one of them has come out, or at least coming out. Hold on. Yes. My mind's trying to think. I think one of them might come out the day this episode goes out. And the rest of it, obviously, over the course of pretty much the following weeks. So we'll start with the one that I'm pretty certain is out the day this podcast goes out. So I say you can't really rank them straight away until obviously I'll give you all of them, but we can have a basis, and then when I tell you the next one, you can go, oh yeah, I'll put that over that sort of situation.
Okay.
So I'm pretty certain the one that comes out the day this comes out is the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
The like concert one.
Yes, with Josh Hartnett, who I only found out recently lives over here. Like after he's married to obviously an English actress, and apparently like he lives actually in the UK permanently.
Oh,
never knew that. Apparently, he just obviously after during COVID he got stuck over here, and then kind of just stayed here because he preferred it over here. It's more quieter.
What a madman!
Apparently, he said that literally wherever he is, Hertfordshire, I think it said, or Herefordshire, something like that. Apparently, like he compared it to being in LA, where obviously he was originally from, and he stated basically. He found it that over there you get a lot of people asking about obviously acting and shit like that. And he goes over here, no one gives a fucking shit who I am. I was like, okay, but yeah, so
that's fair enough.
That's the first one. I say it's a better concert. Essentially, it's like a massive thing, but it turns out that the whole thing's a trap for a serial killer. In the trailer, it's revealed obviously the serial killer is Josh Hartnett's character, the main character. I'm expecting there to be
Shyamalan, so the twist in there.
There's gotta be another twist. Every M. Night movie has some sort of twist. There has to be another twist to this. I can't see there not being.
That's this whole thing.
Exactly. I think the only one without a twist was Last Airbender, but that's because, I mean, you can't really add a twist to something that's already a pre-existing IP, you know what I mean? Everything else has a twist that he's ever done that's original IP. I mean, for example, Sixth Sense, we all know the big twist in that. The Bruce Willis. Spoiler alert, if you've never seen Sixth Sense, turn this off. I mean, it's been a long time since it's been out, so you probably should have seen it by now, is what Hayden told me after I said to her. I mean, I got that spoiled from my mom. And obviously, Bruce Willis being dead, the whole twist along. I mean, the Village one was, turns out they're in modern times. Split, turns out that she's in the zoo the entire time, and the big twist then is it's actually part of the Unbreakable universe. Obviously the beach is basically basically for drug testing. I don't know the Knock at the Cabin twist because I've yet to watch that one. But, you know, that's basically M. Night's thing. It's always a twist after a twist after a twist. So there's going to be a big twist to this. So from the trailers, it looks interesting. It does look pretty good. I do like Josh Hartnett. He's a decent actor. And as I say, the last M. Night movie I saw, which was old, was okay. But I enjoyed the likes of Split, which he did, Glass. And as I say, I still need to watch Knock at the Cabin. I know that got mixed reviews, but so did Old. So I'm expecting probably to be the same level when I watch it in terms of it's okay. But to be fair, out of all of them, this one does look pretty interesting. It's, you know, it takes an actual legit situation of basically it's a concert, but then adds the idea of what if the concert was made just to bait this guy in. And that's kind of interesting as a storyline. And as I said, there's a lot looking at the trailer, look pretty good. And I think the interesting thing as well is the fact that the singer, obviously, that going to watch, is M. Night Shyamalan's actual daughter. Like, it's his actual.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, basically, his one daughter is a singer, and his one daughter basically is going into directing as well. She just did that. I think it's called different things over here. It was called The Watched. I think in America it was called The Watchers, or something like that. It's basically something to do with set in the woods, and there's a bunch of people that are trapped in like basically a glass box, and they're watched by some. That was directed by his other daughter. So basically, he's got one daughter directing a movie that just came out. He's got his other one starring in his current movie. So that's quite an interesting, thing going on with his family currently. And I think it's obviously M. Night Shyamalan films as well. I do respect the fact that most of the time he funds a lot of it himself. Like if he doesn't expect to basically get studio backings, he generally will fund the movie himself. I think the movie Old, I swear it was, I was reading, obviously which was his one after COVID. Like he literally just like pretty much put all the money in for himself, and he got it back basically. So the man's a madman. I think like mortgages his house or something stupid like that. I read.
It just gets rid of it.
But yeah, so okay, that's your first movie. How do you think it's going to do at the box office, and how do you think it's probably going to be received critically?
I think it'll do decent at the box office, but I don't think it'll do very well critically. I feel like it's going to run them hit or miss ones.
Do you want me to have a look at the past a couple of M. Night films to give you a hint at like how his quality's been lately?
Go on then. Show me what you got.
Right, M. Night Shyamalan. Okay, so if I go on Rotten Tomatoes, it's just easier to fucking find. So Knock at the Cabin, critically was 67, audience was 63, so just above average.
About the same.
Old, basically 50 and 53. Glass, 37 critically, 66 audience. Split was 78, 79, so almost the exact same split. And I say everything else going down from After Earth, Last Airbender, The Happening, Lady in the Water, basically all negative. So the only ever Split and Knock at the Cabin and The Visit are the only ones of recent that have been positively reviewed enough by critics. And Knock at the Cabin, Glass, Split are the only ones audience have kind of responded to. Obviously, Signs, Unbreakable were very highly rated. Wait, what? I didn't realise M. Night Shyamalan was a screenwriter for Stuart Little. You know the movie Stuart Little?
The original one?
Yeah.
All of them?
The original film. The one with obviously Hugh Laurie, the guy who plays House.
Mm.
That one. Apparently M. Night Shyamalan was a screenwriter on it. I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Good movie there.
I'm sorry, but between him doing The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, he was a screenwriter on Stuart Little. So obviously, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and Signs were very big things for him. After that, he massively dropped off. Visit got a bit better response from everyone, but not a heavy response. It wasn't really. It was Split, the one that actually got the good response, and after that, again, it's been more hit or miss. So most of his films, review-wise, aren't the best. TV show, he's done a bit better. The Servant got decent reviews. Wayward Pines got okay reviews. So his movies have been a bit mixed review-wise. I will tell you the box office response to his last couple as well, because at least then you've got something to judge off going forward. So filmography. So he's film-wise, I actually tell you the box office. I don't think I have to click on them individually to find it. So Knock at the Cabin, against $20 million budget, made 54.8. So not too bad. Old, against a $18 million budget, made 90.2 back. That did pretty good. Glass, I didn't realise it was that fucking small of a budget. $20 million budget, made $247 million back. Did not realise it was that low of a budget. I mean, film stars Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, James McAvoy. Did not think it was that low.
That's all he paid for. The rest of it, just in the back of his house.
Yes, he's just filmed in his back garden. Like we did when we fucking did the Making the Marsh for a little bit. Split, $9 million budget, made $278.5 million back.
Oh.
The Visit, $5 million, made 98.5. I say, then all the other ones before that were After Earth cost $130 million budget. No wonder it's got Will Smith in. And 243 back. Last Airbender 150, 319. So basically, by the look at this, if I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of his early work was very high budgeted by the look of it. I'm literally not seeing anything that was below 40 million. Like everything's like 60, 70, 80 plus. So most of his early work was high budgeted, and I feel like that's pretty why I'm guessing he gets lower budget. He realizes you know, he can get the same job done with such a lower budget and get the money back off it. So
I
basically,
feel like
his money makes it back. This one, it currently doesn't say the budget, so I can't
I
tell you
think
that.
what he'll do, he'll make the budget. If the budget will be low, he'll make like a massive percentage back. But I think overall the movie will review pretty poorly.
So
I
you
think
got,
it'll hit like 90 million maybe.
so I reckon this probably cost a lot of extras. I reckon especially being the obviously the fucking concert.
Yeah, you give them like £100. Ah, that's alright. Get in. There you go.
I'm guessing this probably in comparison to some of his other. So I reckon this at least. If I'm looking at Knock at the Cabin, and obviously Glass and Old, I'm guessing this at least 20 million. So yeah, I reckon it probably will make its money back. So, but I agree, it might be one of those ones where, see, in my opinion, it's either going to go fully negative, or it would be like in the 60-70 region. I don't think it's going to be like highly rated. I reckon it'll be okay rated. It's either going to be okay rated, or it's going to be bad rated. But as I say, if you're going off his recent ones, his last one was okay rated. His one before that was bad rated, like mediocre rated. Not, I wouldn't say bad. It's 50, so that's like mid ground.
Mid.
So, a lot of his tend to be mid. His more recent ones, mid or above. It's anything before his more recent ones where they've gone a bit down. So I feel like maybe he's learnt then how to make a movie that is okay to watch. But yeah, so that's your first one. So that comes out. When does that come out? Actually, I fucking turn off my screen. That comes out on August the 2nd. So no, this one's already out by the time this episode goes out. So by the time the episode goes out, you'll know if we're right.
You'll know if he's wrong.
Well, exactly. We'll know straight away. Like, oh shit. Okay, so people are gonna see this and go, well, they're wrong.
Edit it out.
It fucking comes out. It's fucking like the greatest movie of all time.
Editor, use AI and dub over my voice.
What we're dubbing you over with Elmo again, or Sloth at the Goonies?
Both sound the same to me.
Okay, so yes, this one's actually going to be out by the time so we'll know the answer. I'm going to check the next one because I'm going to get the dates up so I know in advance. Okay, so the next one, technically speaking, I don't know about in America, in the UK, it's going to be out the day before this episode goes out. So we should have two answers by the time, but I don't know when it comes out in America. Okay, so it comes out August 9th for America, it's August 8th for us. So I'm pretty certain the reviews, in terms of online, don't technically usually appear till America get it. So it should be for us. We'll see the reviews on the day this episode goes out. So the next one is Borderlands.
Oh, okay.
Obviously the adaptation of the Borderlands games, directed by Eli Roth. Starred like a bunch of fucking well-known faces. So okay. Are we going higher or lower than Trap in terms of box office? I'll do first.
Well, right. The guy who makes Borderlands, like the director dude, was like, not a director of the film, but the director of like the game series, was
yes.
like, oh, it will definitely have a sequel. We know it's going to do well. And I was like, does he know it's going to do well? Because it looks fucking shit. I was like, I don't think it's going to do well.
I think it looks okay. It looks like your run-of-the-mill action movie. I think the problem it's got the IP behind it. I feel like if this was any other action type movie, it might just do okay. And I feel like you're always going to have, no matter what you're adapting, like video game wise, onto the big screen, you've always got the fan base who are going to see it and go, that's not how it should work. It should work like this instead. So you always have your back against the wall with video game movie, TV show adaptations. It doesn't matter which way you bring in the media. If you bring it to the big screen or you bring it to the small screen, it doesn't matter. You always got your back against the wall because you've already got an established fan base. Whereas I think, say, something like Trap, for example, it's not going to establish fan base. It's an original IP. There's no realistic. There's no what's the word I'm after? Expectations for it. Whereas I say you announce, oh, we're making a video game adaptation of Borderlands, which is a very popular game, as soon as you announce that, the expectations are already there. The fans are already like, okay, this could go either way. It's going to either be a bad film, it's going to be a good film. And if they see, say, the trailers that come out, because I think there's only been at least 2 trailers I've seen, they see them and probably look at it and go, that's not Borderlands. Like, it might see elements, but overall it's like, no. So you've always got your back against the wall.
Do you think that helps in this situation though? Because as a Borderlands fan, I look at it and I think, I don't even want to go and see that. Look, it doesn't even interest me at all. Any of the trailers, I thought, this looks dreadful. I think as someone who's like a big fan of Borderlands will also have the same opinion. Whereas this M. Night Shyamalan film, I don't know anything about it because it's a standalone IP. I'd be like, oh, well, I could probably go watch that.
So I feel like I think the thing is, I think you might have this situation where you've got these established fans who might go see it just to see how bad it is, just so they can slag it off.
That's the only reason I want to go see it, is just to see how shit it is.
That's what I mean. I feel like that's what you're going to get with this movie. You're going to have probably the fact. See, you'll have pretty casual moviegoers going to see it. Like, there's nothing out that weekend, so they might go, "Oh, I'll go watch it." Because as I said,
I'll go watch that.
There isn't nothing out that weekend. I think I'm going to watch it on the Monday. I think it is like lunchtime. I'm going to go check it out then. But as I say, there's nothing out that entire weekend. Pretty much every weekend has something out. So, like one major movie essentially. So I think obviously there's one at the start of August, which is at the actually start of August. You got 2. You got the trap film, and you've also got fucking some film with Zachary Levi, something to do with crayons or purple crayons or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't.
Is that the one? Is that the other one that you're gonna do after?
What?
Is that one coming out? So you're gonna put that in this list?
No, it's not one that interests me, so I'm ignoring it.
It looks so bad.
When he draws,
it's a very kids movie though, isn't it? So I can't say, oh yeah, look at that. But I still don't think kids look at it.
That's why I've not put it as a major release, because I've got reasons why the 4 in this category are major releases that I don't know anything about, so that's why I haven't put it in there. Trap's in there because it's M. Night. M. Night's a big director, so that's why that's in there. Borderlands is in there because it's a video game adaptation, which are always big deals in terms of are they going to be good, are they going to be bad. And as I said, the other 2, I'll give my reasons when I say them. I don't want to say them yet because obviously that reveals what they are. But yeah, as I say, each week has at least one thing that will get people to go and watch, and nothing conflicts really. I say apart from the first weekend, but that kind of splits it as adults got one thing, kids got one thing. The rest of the time, it's more, it's just one thing. And I say, nothing's out that weekend, so I can see your casual moviegoers might just go, let's go check it out, see what it's about. Like, you might have your Eli Roth fans go check it out because of obviously it's an Eli Roth movie. People who maybe are fans of the actor specifically might go check it out because of that actor or something like that. I know, for example, Hayden likes Cate Blanchett, who's the main character in it. So that's what's interested her in it. Obviously, she knows Borderlands to an extent, but obviously she's drew to it because she likes Cate Blanchett because of obviously playing Hela in Thor Ragnarok. So obviously you might get people like that going to watch it, and so you might get your established fan base checking it out just to see how bad it actually is. But as I say, obviously, as Hayden said to me before, she says with this one specifically, you're probably best going into it with low expectations. Like the trailers look interesting to an extent. Like it does look like your run-of-the-mill action space adventure. It looks basically like Guardians of the Galaxy type thing. And as I say, you've got the Borderlands style to it, so you can see elements of Borderlands and like character designs and shit like that. So as she said, you're probably best going in with like a low expectation, and then you might surprise yourself and go, actually, that was good. Like, for example, the last Eli Roth film, that Thanksgiving one, I went into that with, not really a massive expectation, and I walked out going, actually, that was a decent movie. Obviously, a different tonal movie to this, because one was a slasher movie and one's a space adventure video game adaptation. So
I feel like with this one, you not really playing Borderlands 4, not knowing any story, would enjoy it more than most people who have played it before.
So the most I know about Borderlands is from the fucking Telltale game.
So I think if it like as a fan of Borderlands, I think I'll be too nitpicky with stuff. I'll be like, oh well, that's not
Right.
That's not right. That's not right. Or that doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? Whereas you go into, you just see it for face value what it's giving you.
Yeah.
I still think it will do better than the M Night Shyamalan movie.
Box
I
office.
think box office wise it will. Reviews, I don't know. Is it with video game movies? I find hit or miss because I feel like critics will give it low, and then user will be like 70, 60, 70. I don't think it'd be. Actually, I don't know. I want to say 60, 70 because I want to have some hope that it'd be somewhat decent. But also, I don't think they're doing Handsome Jack as a villain in this because I don't know what timeline this set in. But Handsome Jack would have been the best way to go.
Unless that's the saving that for a sequel or something.
Maybe.
So
but
I'm guessing more than likely there'll probably be like a tease at the end for a sequel. Also, move your head over a bit more. You've completely gone off screen. Thank you.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, you weren't just like you were completely like your face.
Um,
You, obviously, because you're moving as you're talking,
So-
you completely vanished.
I'm back, boss.
Yeah, I think I could just see like corner of your eye. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe it's like something they're gonna say for like a tease at the end to go.
If they're following the
Here's the
games, obviously he doesn't appear till the second game, but that's
That's probably what they're doing. Then they're probably just saving it for
I
that.
don't know.
I say
Seems a
I
bit-
feel like yeah, I agree with you. It might do better box office wise because you might have people checking it out. I feel like if you look at like gross wise, I feel like obviously technically speaking, or when I say gross, I mean like if they're losing money on this, obviously if it's you know what I mean, like because obviously how you always look at budget, it's always you double usually the budget because of marketing usually. Unless it's not heavily marketed, then you don't double it. And I don't think this has really been heavily marketed. I haven't seen much marketing regarding it.
It's been marketed a lot on social media and stuff, but it's not really been marketed outside of that. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I haven't seen like trailers or anything.
I haven't seen like any massive marketing. So I reckon the marketing budget isn't that massive on this, which is probably what they're trying to save is because they know it's not going to be maybe like but I feel like if I have a look at the budget quick. Doesn't say the budget on the internet. I'm guessing the budget's got to be like you're looking at least 100 plus. These type of movies are easy like 100 plus.
I don't want it to do bad because I want if the film does good, that means the games might also have a bit more budget, right? Because they'll be like, oh, we focus on the games and we obviously got some stuff for more films, and I'm like, I like the games, but the film from the trailers just does not look good, and the casting is very weird for a lot of the characters.
I mean, like Kevin Hart instantly is playing a gigantic guy, but yet he's tiny.
And then you've got Jack Black as Claptrap, which is whatever. He's playing loads of random roles like that. So he seems like he's just doing anything. Like he's fucking obviously Bowser, which is a huge role. Claptrap, which is I guess a big character in gaming, but not that huge.
Surprisingly, Minecraft Steve apparently. According to rumors.
He used Minecraft. He already announced it, didn't he?
Did he announce it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he announced it. Because he had like a little video of him like in a trailer, and it had like Minecraft, and it had like Steve, and he come out the door.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't think you're that big guy. How can you make a Minecraft movie?
I don't know. It's in the leaked images.
When he's in like the blue shirt and he's got the fucking
that can't be it, can it? I feel like that's just someone fucking making that just to fucking cause some fucking conversations. I mean, if it turns out to be that, what the fuck? That's not Minecraft. Minecraft's blocks. But yeah. So you reckon this is probably going to do better box office? Oh, like not necessarily in terms of it earning back what it obviously in terms of
just like overall making it's like making money. I don't think it'll make much budget back.
For example, I say I don't know. The M Night one makes, you say, 90 million, as you said, but this one makes like say 110 million. So it makes that bit more, but it's not like a massive, like major hit.
I think I'm gonna call it now. If we even said the other films, M Night Shyamalan will make the most percentage of its money back. Okay. But if a film will get close, maybe break even. There's only one big film that I know is coming up, which might break a lot of this because I don't know how well it's going to be received. But also, I think it's going to be a big film, so
I think I know what you're on about. So I'll get. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the next one on my list. Okay. So I'm hoping it's that one. But yeah, so you think it'll basically you're earning more money, but obviously not necessarily break even, as they say.
Yeah.
And then obviously review wise, you reckon it might just.
I think it'll be mixed. I think it'll be very in the middle. But hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be better than I expect.
So at the moment, what's your overall ranking of how well overall. That's including box office and reviews, essentially.
Oh, this is currently in first place then.
Borderlands. So you
Yeah, I
reckon
thought
Borderlands were
Borderlands.
just top?
I think, but yeah, I think obviously break even and not Shyamalan will always be number one out of this list. But I think with making box office, I think this might just edge it. Like you say, it's an IP people know. People probably just want to go hate watch it. So
Okay. As I said, I don't have an actual budget on this. It's not telling me yet. I'm guessing it'll tell me when it's been released. Thing is, I think the problem is this film as well is the fact that it's not technically all directed by Eli Roth.
it's like a mix, isn't it? Because he didn't leave halfway through.
Because of doing that Thanksgiving film, he couldn't do it, and they needed to like apparently like a fuck ton of reshoots. And the guy who directed the first Sonic movie, I think it was, or no, sorry, not the first Sonic, the first Deadpool. Ignore me. The guy who directed that, I'm pretty certain took over the reshoots. I'll double check that before I. Yeah, Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool and directed the Terminator 1 Dark Fate, the last Terminator film I did. Obviously, he's also he's the producer on the Sonic films, so I got Sonic confused. So he like handled like a ton of the reshoots. So like Roth like did a lot of it, but then he took over a lot of the rest of the reshoot stuff. So it's just like, as always, the mixed thing is, especially for the fact that you got a different director's approach. Like Roth might have had a certain approach to it, and then he's coming with a different spin. Yes, I think probably what might help with the other director is the fact that he's actually used to action flicks. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Roth isn't really. Like, he's known for horror. Like, Hostel, Cabin Fever, Thanksgiving. He worked on that the Grindhouse movies with fucking Tarantino and... the guy did Spy Kids. Roberto Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, he worked on that, which is where Thanksgiving came from, because it was the fake trailer. That was it. That he made the fake trailer as one of the many fake trailers that appeared. I'm pretty certain that and Hub Over Shotgun were the ones that actually got made into proper films. So obviously, he's more in line with horror than he is, well, this. But
with a shotgun.
But I will say that there has been many horror directors that have ventured into less horror projects, and they've actually been pretty decent. Obviously, fucking Sam Raimi, for example, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, very known at the time for Evil Dead, and yet he went off to do Spider-Man. So there's a big one instantly. Let's see what I can think of. I can't remember the director's name, but he recently did the Black Phone with Ethan Hawke, and he did Sinister with Ethan Hawke. I just don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but basically that guy, like, he's known for doing a few horror films, and then went into Doctor Strange. And there's a couple of other directors that are known for that, and I say sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and most of the times they do tend to work because they are decent directors heading into it. So hopefully Roth does a good enough job. But as they hopefully then, when this other guy took over, whatever issues that weren't tonally right, he's done it right, because I say he's more of an action director.
Yeah.
Because he's handled two big action IPs, Terminator, Deadpool. And then he's also been a producer on Sonic, 2 other video game adaptations. And he's, I think, a producer on the next one as well, Sonic 3. So, I'd say it's gonna be an interesting one. So, at the moment, Borderlands is your top one.
Where's it on yours?
If I put...
Without the other films yet?
Without the other films yet? I think I'm inclined to probably agree with you slightly on this one.
Okay.
If I looked at both of them, obviously Trap and Borderlands, myself, in terms of what I look at and go, oh, I'd prefer to watch that, I probably would agree with you again and say I'd prefer probably to watch Trap, because I say it's an original IP, it looks interesting, and I really want to know what the M. Night twist is in it. I feel like that's
that's the only reason most people go for. Like, what's the twist?
I feel like that's what's drawing me towards, especially since they've already revealed the killer in the trailer. I want to know what the big twist is. So yeah, but yeah, then obviously then you get the Borderlands one, the more fun, fast-paced action space adventure, which as I say got the Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe to it. That is also very interesting. But as I say, after everything we've been saying, I agree on a lot of what you've said. As I say, I think Borderlands just tips trap for me. Not like a massive difference. I think it just tips it as what's going to draw more people essentially. But I agree on the whole break even wise. Shyamalan's probably going to get it unless some of these ones come out and they do make big at the box office. Then I can disagree and say, well, they broke even more than Shyamalan's did. They've earned like 100, 200 plus more than he has essentially. Yeah. Then I could say different. But as I say, with the micro budget he puts into him, he's always going to at least make, let's say, if he puts 20 million into it, marketing is not usually massive. Obviously, not probably going to be massive marketing unless his marketing is within that $20 million budget. Who knows? So, for example, say overall 40 million, that's including marketing. The film makes 100 million back. He's made $60 million profit there. So that's good. As he's not put a lot of money into it. He's made a reasonable amount back. When you say something like Borderlands, I don't know, say it's 120 million. Add your obviously marketing. As they usually double, so you add another 120, so 240. It's got to make that 240 back to let's say just over 240 then to break even. It's got to do big. So say it makes 300, for example. It's made back 60. So you know what I mean. It's not too much different to Shyamalan's, but no one's had to put in a fuck ton of money to make it happen. If you know what I mean. So I feel like you always look at it in the situation of, yes, that may have made they both made the same amount. They both got the same amount back essentially in terms of what they can think of. Oh, it's profit. We've made profit. Tap our backs. They both made the same profit of 60 million. But when you look at it, who's the bigger winner? The one who's made it for nothing, or the one who's made it for a fucking load of money? That's put a lot of money into it, expecting it to be a lot bigger. So who there looking at who's made the bigger profit? Really, Shyamalan.
Big Shyamalan ding dong.
You know what I mean? So, but I agree on probably that's gonna say they're gonna break even better than probably most of these. I feel like Borderlands will probably just edge it. Plus, I feel like you got the problem of if someone spoils whatever the big twist is, some people might lose interest in going to watch. Some people might.
Yeah, and it always gets spoiled every time.
Like if someone sees it on social media, like, oh, this is the big twist. It turns out it's all a dream. Ooh.
It turns out the twist is they're playing Twister in the middle of the concert. What?
Like something like that. Like that gets spoiled. That's it. Game over. People are probably gonna be like, I'm not as interested anymore. I'll wait for it to go on home media. So obviously the thing is, on top of that, home media also would then add to the gross overall. And I do feel like maybe some people might choose Trap over Borderlands home media wise. Or you never know. Borderlands might do better home media than it does in cinema. You never know, but I do think Borderlands might just, as an overall draw, might just top Trap. They say it's got the existing IP behind it, so it's going to have that draw already. But you say that draw is then going to be mixed because obviously you got the hardcore fans and the casual moviegoers. So, but I do think ever so slightly. Okay, and so my next one, which will come out the following week after Borderlands, Alien Romulus.
Yeah, this is the one I thought he's going to put. Well, this one's going to do well overall. I think people are just going to see it for the fact of going to see an Alien film.
Because, I mean, the last Alien film we had was Alien Covenant in 2017. It's been, we're what? 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. 7, well, I don't know why I should have just added 7 to that. I don't know why I fucking tried to count it in my head loud. But it's been 7 years since an Alien movie came out. So, and obviously Alien Covenant got a mixed response. But I think what might draw people to this one is A, it's back to basics. B, it's connecting Alien and Aliens, the two biggest of the franchise. The two most loved of them all. C, you don't have Ridley Scott involved. Like, it's again, just like James Cameron's Aliens, it's a different director who's established himself doing other movies. Obviously, Fede Alvarez, who remade Evil Dead, made Don't Breathe, two pretty decent fucking movies. So you're gonna have that draw. And I say a lot of the marketing they spoke about. I mean, Comic-Con, obviously, which obviously when we're recording has just happened. They had I think they had some sort of panel talking about it, and they obviously showed off. I think it was Comic-Con. It was something they showed off somewhere, and they showed off the practical effects, and they had the little face huggers running around the fucking the room. So obviously the animatronic, aren't they? So they remote control them. So they had them like running around, and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. And obviously in all the marketing, the director obviously spoke heavily about going practical over green screen, over fucking CGI. Like it's all fucking done practical. And I think that might draw people as well, thinking, well, we're gonna go. Obviously, this is more in line then with the early Alien movies, not the more modern ones where it's definitely more just digital. They've just slap loads of CGI in it. So I feel like that's going to draw people to it. And as you say, after what happened with Prey, what it did to the Predator franchise, I feel like that could draw people in. Because really, for Aliens, obviously the previous Alien Covenant duology kind of killed it for a lot of people. I enjoyed them. I thought they were decent movies, but it killed it for a lot of people. Just like the Predator did to the Predator franchise. They were both the ones that people looked at and like, that's where it kind of, that's it. The franchises are dead. They're not very good anymore. I mean, to be fair, Alien itself, that happened with after Alien 3. Everyone kind of gave up with the franchise after that. They're interested to an extent, but it wasn't as an amazing franchise anymore. The first two were the best, and it kind of dropped off. And then Predator, first one great. Second one, for me, was a letdown. Predators was a better movie. And obviously the Predator was a bit further down. It's not terrible. It's like Predator 2. It's not terrible. It's okay, but you can also see the hate why it's not done very well. That one specifically because of all the fucking reshoots they had. I mean, it changed the entire last act. It went from being a final act where the humans and the Predators team up to fight obviously the big bad Predator to just being humans versus the big bad Predator. I mean, literally, if you see the images before they did the reshoots, you're literally seeing like Predators riding on fucking tanks with fucking machine guns. You're like, how did you go from that to that?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that one. Show me that one. That's so much better, like, concept-wise than just, oh, that's this kid. He's like the special one. Let's go. They need him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what?
We need our superpower, autism.
You know what I mean? The first concept is so much better. I just don't know why they fucking decided to scrap it all. But obviously, again, as I say, that was another one where it was basically kind of looking at the end of the franchise. Took them years then to go, okay, let's make another one. But that last one was such a disaster. We didn't want to make another one for a long time. But let's make another one. Let's make Prey. Let's go back to basics. Got a really good director in. Got a really good cast. Went for a different type of setting rather than modern. Let's go further back. What if the Predator landed in a situation that we haven't seen? What if they went back to, let's say, like fucking like Native American sort of era of time? And what if then this tribe of obviously people were having to face this bigger threat? So the hunters, once again, they become the hunted, and this is more an approach of the OG Predator. Like they're you know what I mean? It's a jungle setting, an actual jungle setting, not in space like Predators was, still on Earth, and you're seeing obviously a female protagonist for the first time fighting against this being that she knows nothing about. And I feel like with that one as well, they had the dedication of, they added a lot more of obviously the actual language of the time into it. Like you can actually watch the whole movie in that language, which that's dedication there. To actually make the movie properly like that. I mean, I've only watched it in English, but you know what I mean? It's still dedication. So again, so people might look at this and go, well, this could have the Prey effect. This could be like a massive fucking deal. Especially with the fact you got the Alien TV show coming out next year, I think it is. People might be getting back into this huge franchise. Predator saved the Predator franchise to the point of they're making a sequel to obviously Prey. They're doing one called Badlands, like same director, new cast. Like for that, obviously they've gone and saved the franchise that they're making another one straight away is great. So they might be people might look at this and go, well, this could be the franchise savior again. So I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it's like what the new Planet of the Apes did. Like, 'cause that did really well at the box office. I think that made like 400-500 million or something like that. It did pretty damn good. Yeah, it's not the highest grossing movie of the year. It's going to take a lot for fucking Inside Out 2 to get fucking spanked off the top spot. I mean, it's the highest grossing animated film of all time.
What, you said that too?
Yes. Frozen 2 was. That's come out and just gone, bye-bye. It destroyed it. And though fucking Deadpool and Wolverine's like breaking some early records, I don't think that's going to fucking beat that. I feel like Frozen 2, Inside Out 2 has got the advantage of it's a kid's film. Everyone can watch it. Deadpool and Wolverine's at the point of it's a 15. You know, only 15s and over can go watch it. So that's already hindering the fact I know Joker made $1 billion when that came out, despite it being a 15. I feel like it still always has the disadvantage to what a kid's film has in terms of audience getting. I know Alien Romulus is 15 as well, so obviously that's already got a bit of a hindrance. But I feel like Alien fans, as a casual moviegoers who know of the franchise, might be into checking this out. And I think review-wise, this is probably going to get the best reviews out of the 3 weeks in so far.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. I think this is going to get the best ones out of them. And I think box office-wise, this might be the best.
I think of it number one. Yeah, I don't know how much it's going to get back. Like, all the other ones have had like an estimate of like, oh yeah, I think they'll get this much. But this one, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't tell you if it's going to do like. It's obviously going to be over 100 million, but I couldn't tell you.
Well, I'll get the Alien franchise up so we can see how much the franchise has made overall. Each installment, I should say. So box office, reception is what I need. So we'll look at the more recent ones more than the old ones because you can't really judge off the old ones too much because the old ones, I mean, up until Alien Resurrection, the budget was always 70 or below according to the internet. So it was always a Shyamalan type budget. Whereas the newer ones were more, well, I'd say the newer ones, Alien Covenant was only 97 million according to this budget-wise. So box office-wise for the last 2 Alien movies, for Prometheus, Alien Covenant, box office for Prometheus was 400. It got 400 back, but to be fair, it'd been a while since Alien Resurrection. That was 1997. From 97 to 2012, and they got Ridley Scott back. I feel like that's what drew people for that one. So that did pretty well. Whereas Alien Covenant, which came out only 5 years later, only made back 240 million. Still the second highest grossing, I will add, in the Alien franchise. It's still the second highest grossing. But
I think this one, if I got 240 million, I think this one's going to be bigger.
I feel like it's got a good chance of being pretty. I feel like if it comes out and the reviews are as good as we are expecting / hoping for, I feel like that word of mouth might drag people to it. And as I say, realistically, if Borderlands doesn't do very well, what's going to stop it? Because the film that's coming out the week after this one, I don't think it's going to stop it because it's already got bad press as it is. So I feel like if that's the case with anything, I feel like this could. I feel like looking at wise, I'll say 400 at least. I want to hope for at least.
I'll say 300 million plus. I won't put it 400 million yet, just because the last one didn't do amazing. But I want to
say 400 is my hope. But I reckon maybe somewhere between 300 and 350. So I'll slap it at 325 as like a good one, which would still put it as the second highest grossing. I would still like to see it beat Prometheus. And as I say, if you look at review wise, obviously the last 2, to be fair, still were over, critically at least, were still over 60%. Covenant 65, Prometheus 73 according to this. And then the only ones that are ever negative was Alien 3 and Resurrection. Everything else has been pretty highly regarded. I will check audience-wise. So Alien Covenant, audience-wise, 55. The Covenant was badly reviewed.
Okay,
Prometheus, 68. So the last 2, audience-wise, were either mid or just above mid. Critically was entertaining and then above mid. So they've been hit and miss to most. But I do think that's pretty just down to the fact that Prometheus promised it is like, oh, it's an Alien prequel. It's gonna, it's the start of the franchise, and then it kind of just didn't deliver on what people wanted, which is the alien side of it, until the last second of the film, and then that was it. I think that's what pissed people off a lot with that one. And then Covenant, again, really, it left the alien part till the last act, and kept the first act's alien as the spine bursting neomorph. Which, to be fair, I like that. The idea is like, well, we've seen like, what if it bursts out your chest, but what if it literally like splits your spine and comes out your spine? That's like you know what I mean? You've seen it burst out the rib cage. What if it fucking splits your spine and comes out there? That to me is like quite interesting as well. And again, I think people are pissed with that one, but the fact that they're expecting probably the alien from the get go near enough, because especially after the previous one ended, and the poster for this one was the actual xenomorph. So I think everyone was expecting that from the get go, and I think when that didn't happen, I think that's what pissed people off a lot as well. And I think on top of that, I know a lot of people were pissed off that it kind of killed off the main character from the Prometheus. Like, it killed her off screen. Like, and a lot of people felt it dishonored her character. Like, people thought she was like the best part of the previous one, and they just killed her off like it was nothing. I feel like that kind of pissed people off as well. Of course, there's many other reasons why fucking people didn't like that one, but I feel like the last two, it's because they were promised something, it never happened. Whereas I feel like this one, especially for the fact that it's literally set between the two movies, though it's got the problem of where it's got the high hopes now of it's gone back to basics, but I still think it's going to do decent. I wouldn't really compare it to them, because as I say, it's a different director now. It's not Ridley Scott. They're not trying to make, a prequel. They're trying to just like make an alien movie and go, okay, this is happening after that one, but it's going to happen before that one. So it's not, unless, I don't know if it's setting up aliens. I don't have a fucking clue. And obviously I don't know where it's exactly going to reference Alien. So I don't know any of that. But I feel like people might be drawn to this because of the promise of a back to basic approach. So I feel like if it comes out and it gets that right, I feel like review wise it will do well. And obviously if I look at the director, Fede Alvarez, if I look at his last like few movies and give you an example of the critical response to his last ones, directing wise, so Evil Dead was his first one, obviously the remake, which got 63 and 64, so it was just above average, but that had the problem of it's a remake. So if a lot of people don't give a shit about remakes, I actually liked it. I thought it was really good. But then Don't Breathe came out and was like 88 and 79, so really highly regarded.
Yeah.
And then apparently he did the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo sequel, The Girl in the Spiderweb. Didn't know he did that one. That one was badly reviewed, I will say. 38 and 36.
That's pretty shit, isn't it?
So his first two movies got just above average and actually pretty decent. His third movie, so his last movie he did, which was in 2018. He hasn't made a movie since 2018. Did really bad. Like, it was terrible. But I think the problem with that one, it was a sequel to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the American remake. And I'm pretty certain they recast everyone. Like, they changed the cast for it. So I'm guessing a lot of people didn't respond to that. But I don't know if the first one did any good, so I couldn't tell you. But obviously, fucking... He was a producer. The only thing he's done since then was he was a producer on Don't Breathe 2, which critically was negative, audience was positive. He was a screenwriter / producer on that, and he was a producer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was badly reviewed. So he had a good start, dropped off, but I'm hoping this is his bring back. You know what I mean? So I think I'll be annoyed if obviously it's shit, because my expectations for this movie are so fucking high. But that's why I'm saying, like you, out the three we've spoke about so far, this is going to be the big one.
This is the big one of this month.
Big one of August in terms of reviews and money. Okay, so we got one more. We do have one more for this. This is one that has got a lot of negative already because of character design. So a lot of people are hating that it's not very faithful to the original IP. Obviously, it is a remake. So a lot of, it's already got negative response because of that.
Shaun of the Dead remake.
Yes, the Shaun of the Dead remake that your old man guaranteed was coming out. No, you fucking Meloni. It's fucking just a remaster going to cinema. No, it is The Crow. The remake of the obviously Brandon Lee movie, which obviously happened in the 90s, I think that was. And obviously that itself got 3 sequels. Straight to second one went to cinema, did bad enough that they then went to DVD with the following 2 sequels. Third one for me was a bit better than the second one, I will say. That one actually was okay. I didn't mind that one, but the second one, compared to the first one, was shit. And then the last one they did wasn't very good either. So they did 4, and then they did a TV show. A TV show is actually supposed to be pretty good. I've not watched it though. It's got the guy from John Wick Chapter 3.
I watched it.
Oh shit! You haven't watched that one, have you?
Nope.
I can't think what he's been in that you might know him from. Then he's been in a few things. Like he's like he's a decent martial artist when he's in stuff. Because I think most recently, I remember him recently was that Zodiac fucking movie thing they did. That adaptation of that fucking anime. Legends of the Zodiac, whatever it was fucking called. And with Sean Bean and fucking the guy from One Piece. Huh?
I kind of know what you're about. I don't think I've ever seen like anything from live action.
It wasn't very good. But obviously, it had like Sean Bean in it. It had a lot of well-known actors in it, but it just wasn't very good. But ironically, it also had the guy who plays fucking Zoro in the One Piece series.
You did show me.
One of his many fucking anime adaptions that he was part of live action wise. Since he was also in the fucking the fucking Full Metal Alchemist Netflix stuff. He was in like that's all he seems to do is just adaptions of animes and mangas. But yes,
do you want my early opinion on this one?
That is going to bomb badly.
I think it's going to do terrible.
See, I think the one thing for me that's drawing me to it is the fact that I like Bill Skarsgård. I do like him as an actor. After Barbarian, and a few other things I've seen him in, he's always he's a good actor to watch. Like most of the Skarsgårds are, they're really entertaining to watch. That he's the one thing positive I've got going for this. That and the promise of John Wick style action, this brutal action, which the others never really delivered on that level of good action. It was more mediocre because of realistically the actors they chose probably weren't fit for action sequences. Really, I mean, for crying out loud, you had fucking what's his name from the last one? No, the one who played John Connor in Judgment Day.
Oh yeah.
He was the last movie Crow when he was and he's quite chubby, so I mean, he definitely doesn't suit like action fucking material.
The pigeon.
Pigeon. I mean, at the time he wasn't as chubby as he is now. I mean, he's very big now, but back then he was, getting there, but not at that point. And I say all the other actors before that, really, the only one that's literally been pretty built for the role was Brandon Lee, because he obviously Bruce Lee. So he's really the only one built for the role. So I say fucking all the rest never been there, but Bill Skarsgård obviously did that Boy Kills World recently, which obviously was a full action film. I still yet to watch it, need to watch it. It looks fucking good. So, and obviously I know fucking obviously his brother Alexander, obviously they're both fucking decent fucking when it comes to fight sequences. So that's the one thing I've got hopes for, is that's what's gonna be good. But hate the design. I know they're going for the more, I don't know how to say design wise, shit design.
I don't think I've seen it. I'm going to look it up.
Like if you look at and the thing is, this is going in line with a lot of the other Crows, where it's like it's less of the fucking white face paint, long hair, trench coat. It's going with the more later designs where it's just like a guy with a little bit of makeup on. You're googling it, are you?
Oh, okay. Look, I don't like it.
His design looks. I saw the design. And was like.
Looks like a knockoff Joker.
Yeah, that's what everyone said. They said he looks like fucking Jared Leto's Joker. And so I remember watching the trailer and seeing that. I was like, I hate the design of him. I'm hoping the film's okay, and I can just go, well, the only thing I really hated about it was his design. You know what I mean? I think what what is annoying as well is the fact that it's adapting the same character that Brandon Lee played, which is the Crow that has the white face paint, has the long hair, and has the trench coat. And they're eradicating all that about it. All they've got going for it is he's literally got a trench coat. But I will say one thing I did like with the trailer, I do like the supernatural elements to it as well. So that and the action sequences are what I'm hoping is okay about it. But I do think out of all these movies, this is probably the one that's going to be the bomb. So I think
that last as well after all the other films.
Yeah, it's the last big one of August. And again, the reason I put this in the big one is the fact that it's a remake of a really popular movie. That's why I put this in obviously the list. But I do agree that looking at this list of films, as I say, the M. Night Shyamalan film, your Borderlands movie adaptation, and your Alien sequel / prequel, I think they refer to it as a. What do they refer to it as? Because requel's like eradicating stuff.
Sorry.
The guy obviously did. I can't remember what he said, but he did give it like a fucking one of these like taglines of what it actually is. I just can't remember what he fucking called it. But yeah, so obviously you got that, and then you got this, which yes, it's a remake of obviously a popular film as well. I think that's the problem. It's a remake of a popular film. It's not a popular actor at the time. And it's got a lot of legacy. Obviously, that's built like a massive cult following over the years. So now when it first came out, it didn't do very well. But over the years, obviously, it's gained its audience. It's gained its viewers. People have seen what else they've tried with this franchise. And they've seen how much it's failed badly over the years. And then, as I say, then obviously they did a TV show which got a bit of a better response. But, as I say, I think people straight away looking at the character design... looking at the changes to story, I think that's what's drew people away and been like,
what have they changed about the story?
Apparently, from what I read, the guy who's directing it said there's a lot more focus early on the love story angle, whereas the actual original Crow, it did that in flashbacks. It wasn't really, it fully focused heavily on him and the police plotline. Whereas this is saying, from what I can gather, so the first. I don't know, the film's on for an hour 51. So the first half hour or 40 minutes is the love story part of it.
Well, that does make more sense, I guess, because you got to build up the tragedy of the person dying. But because the original one is like, she get back to like, and then she's dead, and it's like.
The thing is, the original one you see it all in flashbacks. The death part, if I remember correctly. It is more focused on early on. It's more focused on the cops, specifically another one from Ghostbusters. Obviously, the one who. The black guy from Ghostbusters.
The one who gives a girl the hot dog.
Yes.
Not in Ghostbusters, in The Crow.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I was
like,
I don't remember him, Ernie Hudson giving someone a hot dog in Ghostbusters.
No, in The Crow.
Yes, I know you're on about now. Yes, I was trying to find a way to explain it, obviously the actor that is going the black guy.
See, don't get me wrong. I like the original Crow. I watched it many times as a kid. Bob, no, I've got no interest in going to this one at all.
See, I watched the original one. I actually only watched all of them in this past couple of months. I've only seen them this year. I've never watched any of them before. I think I've seen clips of the fourth one, like before, but I've never actually seen them properly. And I've seen clips of the first one thanks to I watched a documentary. Basically on about cursed movies, and one of the episodes was focused on The Crow. So that's the only time I've really seen. It's the only time I've really seen clips from this movie was through basically a documentary talking about this movie. So I know barely anything about the franchise, and obviously I brought it a while ago, and I was sat down one day. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna finally sit down and watch it. And I remember sitting down to watch it, and I was like, this is actually a really good fucking movie. I like the gothic tones, I like the action, the fact that they managed to finish the movie despite the fact the lead actor was killed.
Yeah,
is dedication. I mean, obviously the amount of, because I know as soon as it happened, a lot of like things backed out, funding wise, like stuff, studios backed out. So then like a production company had to come in and say, we're giving you the money to finish this brand new technology. We're gonna basically work with this technology to basically allow you to still see his face on this guy's face. Obviously, we'll do a lot of shots as well from behind, so you don't see his face a lot. And you can see when you see these scenes, you're like, "That's I'm guessing when he's not in this movie." So they do a really good job of doing that. And as I watched that, I was like, "This is really good." And then like a couple of months later, I finally sat down and watched the rest of the franchise. I watched the second one. It's I believe currently still on Paramount Plus. The second one is. So I watched that. Disliked it. Thought it was in comparison to the first one, it was nowhere near the same quality. They tried to capture the exact same film with some other supernatural elements, and it just didn't work for me. It just felt like a cheap, lazy knockoff. And I feel like the problem with the second one, it was an actual sequel. The following ones opted not for sequels; they opted for just standalone stories. The second one opted for the idea of it. No, it's not the same. Like Crow, it's not the same. It's not Eric Draven. It's like this other guy. It opted for like changing that, but it literally brought back the young girl from the first one, older. So it was still a sequel in that sense. And it just wasn't very good. And then the third one, straight to DVD. That one had Kirsten Dunst in it, fucking Spider-Man. She was the not love interest, basically. She was the guy that's the Crow. Basically, he's after the people that killed his girlfriend. She's the girlfriend's sister. That actually stars the other guy from fucking Ghostbusters, the one that pulls the plug on the fucking machine. The one who hates him to pieces in the first one.
Oh, yeah.
He's obviously in the new one. He's the mayor of obviously New York. Obviously, that guy. He's the dad of her in that one. So that's quite cool. Obviously, you had Ernie Hudson in the first one, and then you had obviously the other guy from Ghostbusters in the third one.
New one. Well,
you also had the not Kevin Bacon, but the other guy from Tremors, the other main guy. He was like the big villain of the film. So again, this one's got a probably bit of a better cast than that one. And obviously, this is the first one when they kind of changed the Crow look entirely. So it's like, instead of him wearing makeup, it's more the case of he was in the electric chair. So the design for, obviously, this sort of Crow like mask type thing on his face is more of burn marks. So they went for a bit different approach rather than makeup. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. And I say it was a bit more interesting than the second one, but not very good itself. It was okay. And then the fourth one, was fucking him at Terminator, and the one who plays Angel in fucking, Buffy in the Angel series. And it just also had Tara Reid in it, of American Pie. And it definitely was not the best film ever. So, obviously, I watched them over the course. I've even brought the series. I've just yet to sit down and watch it. And say it's a franchise that has potential, but that no one since the first one has captured that potential. And I just, in those situations where you're like, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it comes out and it's actually entertaining. It's like, it doesn't have to be like a masterpiece, but you know what I mean? Like, you hope it's at least better than all the sequels.
Watchable.
And you hope it's, watchable. So I hope I'm wrong, but my instincts are saying it's going to come out, it's going to bomb.
It's just coming off the back of like 3 decently sized movies as well. M. Night Shyamalan has his like dedicated fan base. Borderlands 3 has its fan base. And then Hayden has probably the overall biggest fan base out of all of them.
Yeah.
And then you got this one, which is like, obviously, the original's got a cult following. But I don't think the rest of them have this massive following enough to warrant, we're going to go watch this film off the back of all these other ones. So.
Yeah, and obviously, this one is being directed by... Oh, that doesn't say much, does it? My expectations... I didn't know who directed it, but my expectations have definitely gone downhill now. The guy who made Ghost in the Shell. The Scott Johansson movie. And the Snow White and the Huntsman movie. With fucking Chris Hemsworth and... Oh, what's the fucking name of Twilight?
Ooh, I want to say Bella, but that's the name in the film.
Is it Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, Kristen Stewart, I think it is, yeah.
So, he's only made those 2 films, really, according to IMDb. So my expectations went from low as it is to probably even fucking lower.
Yeah, I'm going to put this to, I was like, it's going to be poo-poo.
That credit alone, just those 2 movies that on IMDb currently sit at 6.1 and 6.3, doesn't say much for this fucking Crow adaptation.
Yeah, I agree.
So my expectations have gone even fucking lower now. I mean, I say it's got a decent enough cast. I say it's got a decent lead actor, Bill Skarsgård. The guy who's playing the villain, Danny Houston, is a good actor. I do like him. And I'm going for the rest of the cast, and I've never fucking seen any of these in my fucking life. But yeah, my expectations just definitely took the biggest fucking nosedive. I want to see who's writing it, see if my expectations go even further down. Okay, so one of the writers recently did the screenplay for that Bob Marley film, did Gran Turismo, Creed 3, and that King Richard, which won some Oscars. So expectations slightly rising, ever so slightly, because there seems to be a decent writer behind it. And then the other writer, doesn't seem to fucking anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anything he's writing, by the look of this, is he has some sort of writing credit for the Return to Silent Hill movie adaptation, the film of Doom.
Okay.
So that's the only thing he's really done. So my expectations are definitely lower than I was before going into this discussion with you. And I would tell you the rest of the Crow franchise scores if you want for fucking rating wise. So the original Crow, starring Brandon Lee, has an 86-90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Its sequel, City of Angels, sits at 14% critics, 40% audience. The third one, Salvation, which, to be fair, I thought was a bit better. It was mediocre, but it was a bit better. 18% critics. There's not many ratings, FYI, for critics. They're quite, because I'm guessing because they're mean straight to DVD and shit like that. There's not many, like, this one has 11 ratings for critics, but it's 18%, so that's still low, and 43% audience. And then the last one, ooh, I'll tell you the audience first, and you can guess the critics off that. Audience 35. What do you reckon the critics was?
20.
Lower.
17.
Lower.
10.
Lower.
0.
Yes.
Zero.
From 9 reviews on IMDb, on Rotten Tomatoes, the last Crow movie sits at 0%.
Yeah, that's gotta be dreadful. And I mean, there's always something to give positive.
It wasn't
somewhere.
very good. I can tell you what I gave it. I think I gave it quite low. The Crow. What did I say it was fucking called? Wicked Prayer. I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Going to this, but I probably may actually have changed that without realising. But it's still pretty low. In comparison to the rest of the Crow franchise, to be fair, the other one's 9 for the first one, 4 for the second one, and 5 for the third one. So it was the sequels are still very much a mixed bag. But yeah, my expectations definitely took the biggest nosedive after this conversation. See, I agree. Crow is definitely the one that's, I don't want it to, because you don't want any film to bomb. You know what I mean? Especially if you're watching a film, you want it to at least be some positive to actually enjoy yourself. You don't want to be watching a film and go, I just wasted fucking, like, let's say an hour 50. You don't want to be having that conversation like I did when I watched.
Yeah, but sometimes a really bad movie's an entertaining movie.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. So I'm hoping this is one that's it's bad, but you can at least get entertainment out of it. That's what my hope is at. But as I say, the expectations now are so low. I feel like you're probably going to get that because the expectations are that low. You're probably going to get that situation of it's bad, but it's entertaining. But at the same time, you can also look at it and probably go, it's just bad. Like, for example, the first Winnie the Pooh movie that came out recently, that Blood and Honey, my expectation was so fucking low on that. I watched it, and I wanted my money back. I didn't even pay for it. I want my money back, though. I streamed it, but I want my money back. So obviously then when the sequels come out, my expectations are just fucking still at a ground level. I still haven't watched it though, but I've heard some better things about it, so I'm hoping it's at least better. But as I say, definitely the ranking for this would be Romulus, fucking Borderlands, Trap, and then The Crow. But I feel like though you put it in that ranking, I feel like out of them, I feel like Alien would be the one that is higher, right? Even though they're ranked 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like by far it'd be higher, and then by far I think The Crow would be lower. So I feel like you got Alien, which is like really high. Let's say I don't know. if we did it in like ratings out of 10, like exactly to the number, you got Alien, which we're hoping is like a 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? So it's that high. And then you've got fucking The Crow, which it says we don't want it to be that low because they want it to at least be entertaining, but say a 2, like it's that low. And then obviously you got your Borderlands and your M. Night Shyamalan, which are like maybe like 5 and 6, like mid ground.
Yeah.
So that's like the sort of drastic differences we're thinking at the moment. We're hoping we're wrong. If you're watching this at the point of all 4 movies that come out, you know, please say we're wrong.
We're
please
just
say,
wrong. It's like The Crow does the best, Alien does the worst.
please just tell us that, you know, one of as they at least are all in the watchable area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where we want it to be at least. We want them all. I say any film, you want it to at least be in that watchable category, that middle ground. I feel like anything above that, well done. You made a fucking great movie. I think anything below that is a, you know, big middle finger like that.
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
And go fucking swivel. But yeah, so that's sort of how we look at it. So that's basically all the 4 big movies coming out in August. So you got that Harold one coming out, but we're not going to put that on this list. Yeah.
Well, I hope we should, man.
You know, it'd be funny. Please tell us because this comes out after that movie.
If it does really well.
Wait till the end of the month. Come back to the comment section of this, and if that outperforms both box office and review wise, all 4 movies we spoke about today, put it in the comments below. Because imagine that these 4 movies we spoke heavily about. I mean, we spoke almost an hour and 20 minutes on these 4 movies. Imagine these 4 movies come out, and this one movie we've gone, you know what, fuck it, we're not even putting it in this list. Fucking does better than all of them.
Yeah, it just smashes it.
That would just be hilarious, I feel like, but also depressing because we've kind of just eradicated it, being like, nah, it's a bag of shit, fuck that off, we ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, it's ain't doing nothing, man.
It's one of those films, like, if you're ever going to watch it, it'd probably be like if it goes on streaming. Like, I don't know which producer company's making it, but for example, say it's a Paramount movie, you'll probably just watch it maybe one night if it's on Paramount Plus. You know what I mean? To me, it's one of those type of movies that you're not probably going to check out in cinema. You're probably not going to buy on DVD or Blu-ray. You're probably not going to buy or rent on digital platforms. You probably wait for it to go free on these platforms, like on Prime Video, or I say if it goes to a streaming service like Paramount Plus or Now TV, if it's on like Sky Cinema or something. Like, you probably wait for it to be one of those type of movies, unless you got a kid that you're like, here you go, watch this, kid. There you go, enjoy.
Watch this, kid.
Wait a minute, I don't have a kid. Who the fuck's this kid? But yeah, so if that outperforms all 4 of these movies, let us fucking know, because you know that just shows how shit we are at fucking figuring out what movies are going to do fucking well. Well, there it is. I feel like we could probably do this like once a month. Like if there's like multiple, at least 4 movies. I feel like we could easily have a
decent. If they're decent, if they're all shit,
yeah,
then...
like 4 major movies in a month. For example, October, you got Venom, you got Smile 2, you've got Joker 2, and you got that Terrifier 3. So that's 4 reasonable movies. So we could easily come back in October and sit there and say which is going to do best.
Yeah.
Which is going to do best. Obviously, we think based on what we spoke about. We could easily do that at least. Like that could be our once a month fucking podcast for me and you. The one that we can actually aim to try and do. So we're struggling at the moment to get one in weekly between us because obviously, I say with Hayden working, obviously mornings, she has to go to bed early, and that kind of screws up me sitting here. I mean, she's gone to bed now, but I'm downstairs, so I can actually do this. I feel like the only way I could do this is like a fucking laptop or something. But even then, I have people in the fucking house I can hear. I'm like, usually sitting here where I am, I can hear the fucking TV behind me in the other room. But as I say, for the fact there's no one here at the moment, I've got the good thing of I can have peace of quiet. There's no one fucking listening to TV. There's no one fucking putting the washing machine on constantly. Because that fucking shit's loud as fuck. So I don't have any of that. So I felt it's the only time we can like permanently do like weekly ones if no one was fucking around.
Yeah.
So but at the moment I feel like once a month, like me and you aim for at least one podcast where we can like talk back and forth. Unless we can find a topic we can see and go, oh yeah, like for example, we get a lot more information about the new Doom game, for example. then we can think about, okay, we'll force a podcast. I don't give a shit about this. You sit there, Hayden, we'll fucking talk about it. Unless we fucking record on, say, for example, no, obviously we usually record middle of the week for that same week release. The only thing I can think of aiming for then is the week before. So, i.e., I'm talking about your Friday night because she doesn't have to get to bed early, or a Sunday in the afternoon or something. Those are probably 2 days that are best, really, for me and you to sit down and do ones regularly. Obviously, we don't usually get that time, so when we get them, and we just drag it out and have some interesting discussions. But, as I say, we'll aim for this ranking of how well a movie's going to do, box office critics, whatever, at least once a month. If, as you say, there's enough good movies out that month to sit down and have that discussion. And so lately there has been quite a few months where you looked at and there's actually some decent movies. But for example, like January, there's barely anything out in January for that sort of discussion to have. I mean, what came out this year? Mean Girls, Beekeeper, Nights from, I think, came out. So 3 movies. Yeah, 2 of them turned out to be decent. 1 turned out to be a bit shit. But like months like that, you can look at and go, yeah, we'll skip that. I'll have a look for September before we decide if we actually got to do one in September. So I'll have a look what's out. The only thing I know off the top of my head is that Transformers animated film. That's it. I can't think of anything else really that I know is coming out. So, but I said I'll look into it. If there's any for September, we'll do it. But next one for this once a month movie discussion will be October at least. But I say I'll always look in advance so we can sit down and make sure we've got a date that we can actually sit down and record one. And since this doesn't require us to have knowledge of that film or whatever, we can actually just, as long as we've got a trailer to work off, as long as we've got some details to work off, we can do it at any point. So yeah, that is it then for this episode. Obviously, you can check the other episodes and this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible. The list goes on. You can also check out the video on YouTube. Let's say by the time this episode goes out, we'll know a bit more about some of these movies. You got obviously the last 2 podcast stuff finally done when I'm back to a schedule. Obviously, you got some fucking 4 reviews. Kaiju number 8, Go Loser Rangers. That was an episode, and I did 2 sharp movies last week. So you've got 2 to catch up on if you haven't caught up on them yet. And so there's plenty of others down the line that we've done. Connor's edging closer to beating. I think you're edging closer to beating Hayden's record of most appearances on the show.
Hell yeah!
Because with this episode now, you have reached 45, so you are joint with Hayden for most episodes. So 1 more episode and you're a beater. Because I know you've got a better chance of beating her than Alex because he's only on 12. Despite the fact I will try and see if I can get him to do the episode that's coming out next week. But I'll fucking have to have a discussion with him about that. And I know for the fact that she's not doing it anymore, because she already said she's not doing it anymore. So you've got the best chance of beating her. 1 more, Connor. You only need 1 more. And you've beat her.
I'll do it.
So yeah, you can check all that. You can check out all the other content on the channel. We're going to hopefully at some point try and look at getting back into live streaming together. But again, that's another discussion to try and see at some point with scheduling on Sundays now. But we'll have a look and have a discussion about that. So until then, I don't think there's anything else to really say. My gaming stuff with Alex should be very soon. That's the back end of this month, so there is that to look forward to if you want to watch me playing video games. Again, don't know what we're doing yet. We've got a fucking list to decide on what we're going to play. And yeah, that is that. So until then, thanks for joining me, Connor, for this. Thanks for you to listening to us rambling on for this length. And yeah,
Long time.
That is it, and we will see you in the next episode. Well, I will. Connor probably won't.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.